Thank you for joining us for Cross-Talking. I'm Brother Bill. This is Pastor Rick.
Pastor Rick.
And we'll be talking and answering questions about the Bible today. So our question today is, why didn't Moses get to go into the Promised Land?
As you know, Bill, Moses got a glimpse of the Promised Land. The Bible teaches us that, but he never really entered into the Promised Land. Moses is representative of the law, and the law is what gets us to the Promised Land, if you will. In other words, it tells us about Messiah. Why we need a Messiah is because we can't follow 10 very simple sayings. I used to like to say, you can maybe get through the first 9, but that last one, thou shalt not covet, you're just not going to get by that one. However, God has given us Yeshua or Joshua. And Joshua, the son of Nun, brought the Israelites into the Promised Land. And he represents the promise of Messiah, whereas Moses represents the law. It doesn't mean Moses didn't get into the Promised Land. He did. He got into heaven. He's in heaven today. But Joshua represents the fact that we enter in by faith, because Joshua believed. As Abraham believed and God counted him as righteousness, so did Joshua, so did every other people since Adam believed by faith. And the last man that believes by faith and the first man that believes by faith and all that are in between will enter into the Promised Land, which is, of course, the kingdom, which is heaven itself.
So I'm going to paraphrase this. I'm not going to get it correct. But there is a passage in the Bible that talks about Moses striking a rock to get water out of it. He seemed to be angry. He seemed to be just not, he didn't do it the way God wanted him to do it. And to me, that seemed like a part of the whole thing of him not getting into the Promised Land.
Yeah, it was the catalyst, because what Moses did is Moses said, look at me, look what I'm going to do. And he hit the rock and produced water. And again, because of that, because Moses took the focus off of God and put it on himself, that was his punishment, that he didn't physically enter into the Promised Land. Spiritually he did, but physically he did not. Why? Because he committed that great sin of really pride. He got prideful and said, well, look, I'm going to produce this water. I'm going to tap on this rock. And it produced water. And really what he was saying is, look at me. This is reflective of what Satan did way back. And he said, look how beautiful I am, and look how I need to be worshipped. And the nanosecond that he believed that in the heavens, God kicked him out of heaven and he fell to earth. And some other terrible things happened with that. But that's a type of what Satan did, and that will keep us. All sin is sin. All sin is terrible. All sin is bad. But the sin of pride or iniquity is probably ranked up there near the top, although sin is sin. Iniquity is righteousness that we have in our righteousness instead of God's righteousness will get you probably in the most trouble.
Well, thank you for joining us again for Cross-Talking. Be sure and like and subscribe if you feel so motivated, and we'll see you again next time.